Hi there, my name is Andy Musall with Fresh Source Farms, and recently we were lucky enough to be able to purchase a potting machine from Stilt Pro Equipment in Thompson, Georgia. In today's video, we're going to talk about how it works, some of the cool features that it has, and at the end of the video, we'll go over the pluses and minuses of this machine. So let's get into it. So Stilt Pro Equipment is actually a husband and wife ran team out of Thompson, Georgia. I dealt with Ashton, the wife, who's actually one of the nicest people I've ever talked to. She made the whole entire process super easy. We've been dealing with this for about a year, and we were basically waiting to win a grant, and that's actually how we made this purchase. So we did pay full price for this machine. This was not given to us, so I wanted to make sure this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. So this would be a full, true review of this entire machine. First off, this machine is built like a tank. It weighs over 800 pounds, and every part is powder coated, so you know it's going to last a long, long time and be good to go against wear and tear, which is definitely a nice plus. The motor and drive assembly are actually mounted on the outside of the machine, so it's easy to get to them for service or any kind of repairs that you would have to do. Hopefully that'll never happen, but you can tell this thing is built to last for a long, long time. And every single piece of equipment that Stilt Pro Equipment actually makes is made right here in the USA. And one of the features that I absolutely love is that this runs on a standard 110 volt outlet, which you have all throughout your house, all throughout your farm. So it's definitely something you can easily plug in. You don't have to worry about running a 220 volt outlet to use this machine. On the left-hand side of the machine, there's an on-off switch indicated by green and red, and there's also a forward and reverse rotating dial that you can set. The machine is meant to be ran in forward mode the entire time. Reverse is available if it gets jammed up on something, if a stick ends up in there by accident, or something where the conveyor belt gets stuck, you can put it in reverse and at least reverse that out and clear that jam. So that's why they have that built in as well. Pretty smart thinking. The potting machine also comes with a very detailed instructions manual that I haven't read all the way through yet, but every question that I needed or thought in my head was actually addressed inside of that owner's manual. So we actually stuck ours right to the back of the machine. That way we can always find it whenever we need it. It comes inside of a little sleeve, so we just went ahead and taped that sleeve right to the back of the machine. That way we always know where to find the instruction manual just in case. And what I also like is that the service information is actually located on a sticker that's mounted on the side of the machine. One of the upgrades that we actually opted for was to get the caster wheels that they actually have as an option. This is an upgrade, so it doesn't come standard with the machine, but we felt it would be worth our time to get it. This actually allows you to move the machine around your farm, assuming you have some kind of a flat surface that you can roll it around on. The back tires are set, so they can't actually turn, but they have grease bearings built into them, so it just gives you an idea how heavy duty these actual wheels are. Now the front casters, they actually will rotate, and they also lock as well, which is really nice. So you can move the machine around easily and lock the wheels when you actually need to. That being said, if you do have a pallet jack, this machine is really easy to move around with a pallet jack without having to purchase the wheels. So if you don't have the money or don't want to spend the extra cash on the wheels, you can certainly opt to just use your pallet jack to move it around if you have one available to you. Besides the wheels, we also opted to get the tray and flat filler option, which is a really nice upgrade that I would highly, highly recommend if you're going to get the machine like this. This actually includes 2 adjustable chutes and a soil leveler that's built in that's adjustable as well, that you can install either on the left-hand side or the right-hand side depending on the configuration of your farm. So you can slide trays from one direction or the other. We'll show you how to actually use the soil lever and how to make those adjustments later on in this video. Moving the tray and flat filler option off to the side allows you to get into the hopper where the soil is actually located, and you'll see how we do that in a couple minutes. The tray and flat filler has 2 adjustable chutes. They're easily adjusted with these 2 large knobs, and you can actually set it up best if you put one forward and one back. We found that actually helps fill the trays a lot quicker. We'll show you what that looks like in a few minutes. One of the options that's built into the machine is a flow rate adjuster, and adjusting this back and forth is going to actually adjust how much soil comes out of the machine itself to fill your trays, so you can move it back and forth. We actually found this to be kind of difficult to move. I don't know if it's just user error on our part, or if it needs to be broken in, or if it needs to be oiled or something. I haven't dug into the user manual yet, so this could just be something that we're doing wrong, but we did find it to be fairly difficult to move. We did find that when it was pushed all the way back, it would actually clog with soil in between the little slots that you can see inside of there. So we ended up actually finding that somewhere in the middle, not completely open, but almost completely open, actually seems to work best to keep that from happening. So if you're wondering how we actually add soil to this machine, first we're going to swing the tray and flat filler out of the way and then lift up the cover above the soil hopper. We found we could get about 3 to 5 bags of soil in there, which is about anywhere from 6 to 10 cubic feet of soil. When it's opened all the way, the soil hopper cover actually is locked in place by this really cool little hook that's on the side. It's super basic, and this is engineering at its simplest form, but it works flawlessly. All right, let's take a look at how the soil leveling system works as part of the tray and flat filler option. Remember, again, this is an actual upgrade that we got as part of that whole entire assembly that's on the front of the machine. We'll start with a 1020 set of trays from Bootstrap Farmer. These are their deep trays. I believe they're 2.5 inches deep. So you can see we actually adjust on both sides using those knobs. So even if you had a tray that was, for whatever reason, at a strange angle, you could still actually have the leveling be set up to that. We did find that about maybe 1/8 of an inch off the top of the tray was almost the perfect setting, somewhere between 0 and 1/8 of an inch, and it would actually level off the soil pretty well if you had it set up to that height. Any higher than that, you end up with soil around the edges and stuff like that. We also found that adjusting the knob that's closest to the front of the machine made it a little bit difficult to keep the leveler actually level. As you're turning it, it just wants to tighten down, physically down into the tray. So just keep that in mind. We just kind of held it in place and tightened it slower, and that actually allowed us to adjust it to the height that we wanted it to be. And now we've moved on to a 1020 set of trays from Bootstrap Farmer. These are their shallow trays. I don't know the exact height of these. They may be about 1 inch or so, 1.25 inches. So you can see that the leveler will go down to that height. It will go all the way down to the top of the actual grate if you need it to. But you can bring it all the way up to the height of a full pot if you're planting flowers or lettuce or anything like that as well. So it does allow for a wide range of adjustments in height. So definitely a very cool option. And I would highly, highly recommend, if you're going to get one of these machines and you plan on doing microgreens and you want it to level automatically, this is worth the money for sure. So let's fire up this potting machine so you can hear how it sounds when it's running and see what it does when it's running. And now, the moment you've been waiting this entire video for. Let's see what it's like to actually fill a microgreens tray with this machine. So as you can see, it actually took about 8 seconds per tray to actually fill it with soil. Now this process, when we would hand dump it in, hand spread it, hand flatten it, would take us about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes each. So you're taking a process that takes 1.5 minutes down to about 8 to 10 to 12 seconds in a worst case scenario. We'll probably even get faster at it as we use the machine more. This was just us going at a comfortable pace to get to 8 seconds. So this machine could easily save us a ton of time. We plant a lot of trays, so it's going to make the process a lot easier. And we estimate this machine should pay for itself in about 10 to 11 months over and over and over again. So if you're at any level of quantity where you're actually planting about 200 plus trays per week, you may want to consider actually looking into this machine. There's plenty of grant options out there where you can possibly win some grant money to help pay for it completely, or at least pay for it in partial. But I will say it's a very nice piece of equipment. The only couple things that we ran into was having that flow rate adjuster be a little bit tough to move, which again could be user error on our part. And also we noticed the soil going back into the hopper. It doesn't slide down into the very bottom of the machine as easily as we would like it to. So we just basically lift up the hopper cover and push the soil down by hand whenever we need to. But even with adding that additional time in and having to mess with that, it's still faster than hand filling trays by leaps and bounds. So if you're looking to get something that will help speed up your tray option, definitely look into the soil and flat filler machine from Stilt Pro Equipment in Thompson, Georgia. Amazing people. I'll leave a link to the actual machine that we got down in the description. This is not an affiliate link. We are not associated with them. Again, they did not sponsor this video in any way, shape, or form. We paid full price for this, and this is just a general, honest review of this machine. So hopefully you guys learned a lot. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. We plan on doing a lot of videos to cover how to grow different microgreens and different processes in 2025. Especially, we're going to up our YouTube game a lot. So definitely subscribe to the channel, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.